What the hell is up, everybody? Welcome back to Football on Full Heel. Sorry for the late start today. Had some technical difficulties. Today, I am joined by Andres here.
Yo.
And Rafa, Donkeytron in the back with the keys to the studio. Unfortunately, Johnny the boy couldn't make it here today.
He's quarantined, apparently.
No. He's had some car issues, so unfortunately couldn't be here. Breaks our heart. It's our first one without him. He will be missed.
Can't have more than 3 people in here now, right?
He will be missed, but Andres and I will carry on for just today. And usually I would have said if Johnny wasn't here, fuck it, we won't do it. But we have to do it today because it's strange days, everybody. This coronavirus has got everybody freaking out, understandably so. Northern Italy's on lockdown. Crazy amount of cases in Seattle. So soccer is suspended as a result of the coronavirus pandemic and pretty much everywhere in the world, except for Liga MX. Liga MX is still playing. Things are still going south of the border. So yeah, that's crazy. Normally, at the end of the show, we'll make picks, and so with the time reserved for picks, we're going to talk about how the seasons are going to finish, if they're going to finish. We'll discuss some of the theories or some of the solutions already being discussed or thrown out, but for the time being, the next 2 weeks of the Spanish League are postponed. The Premier League finally today made the decision, probably the last, right, of the the Bundesliga was, but the big 5 leagues taking a while to decide on what they were going to do. But after Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, was diagnosed, along with a couple of other players, Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea, Daniele Rugani from Juventus, a couple other players, and Gabbiadini from Sampdoria. It's crazy. But yeah, all the big leagues making the right call, because again, health is more important than football. But yeah, since all the leagues are going on hold indefinitely, we wanted to get you caught up on where things stand, since we don't know if we'll be recording with no matches being played. I mean,
could be a couple of weeks, could be months,
or we could have some fun. We could open it up and open it up to questions, to discussions. Maybe talk about like some cool stuff, like maybe some of our favorite matches, or just get a little bit more
the best game this season or something
personal. You let us know what you think, but well, at least for today, we'll get you caught up on everything in the Premier League, in Spain, the Bundesliga, the big leagues, as well as the Champions League and Liga MX. But again, biggest news of all the big, important, relevant, major soccer and football leagues are suspended, along with actually pretty much all the big sporting leagues. It's actually a couple NBA players who tested positive for coronavirus as well, so NBA is on hold. So again, just want to can't overstate that it's the right call. I mean, it sucks. I love to watch matches on the weekend, but
can't risk it right now.
There are bigger things to worry about right now. So yeah, thank you to those who are watching us live now. Again, shout out to Johnny. Sad he can't be here. Also, quick shout out to boy Caesar. The boy Caesar usually watches us live. If you're watching, shout out, homie. We thinking about you. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to segue after kind of a serious and awkward introduction there, but I guess we'll segue into something a little bit more lighthearted. The picks. Last week, Johnny had a big week. He got 4 out of the 6 picks correct. I got 3. Andres got 1.
Yeah, it was a weird week for me.
So the last 2 weeks, Johnny's made a comeback, and now Johnny's actually tied with me for 19 correct picks. Andres has 17, not far behind, but it's a battle there. So big bummer that we won't get to make any picks for today, because again, all matches this weekend and going forward at least till April 3rd, I believe, and then MLS is postponed for 30 days. So no picks this week, but as things stand, we're pretty close. So yeah, we'll get right into it. Let me just pull out the notes real quick. In England, just briefly talk about Liverpool. Won't talk too much about Liverpool in the league just because they're up by 25 points.
They beat Bournemouth.
Not a lot to say that other than they beat Bournemouth.
They needed that win to go into Champions.
They beat Bournemouth on Saturday, to get some momentum going into the Champions League. Both Salah and Mane scored, and they won after going down early. Bournemouth got a goal, I believe, in the 9th minute, and Liverpool comes back to win it, and picked up some momentum going into the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Or so you would think. Elsewhere, Chelsea blasted Everton. So just when Chelsea looked like they were taking a wobble, just when it looks like their 4th place spot was,
in danger.
In danger, yeah. They pulled out and beat Everton, who's a mid-table team right now under a good coach in Ancelotti and with some good players. So they won 4-0. And then the next closest team in 5th place, Manchester. And I'm talking about Manchester United because Manchester is red for a
while.
Yeah, for the first time since 2010.
Yeah, it's a long time.
United,
almost a decade.
United does the sweep on City in the league. United wins 2-0. Goals from Anthony Martial and from Scott McTominay late. So United stays in 5th place. City just not looking like themselves, right?
They need a KDB, which is understandable because, he's saving for Champions.
Yeah, in case you missed it, like Andres just said, Kevin De Bruyne was out, and De Bruyne has at least 16 assists on the season.
I think it's like 17.
Yeah, threatening to beat the Premier League record. So definitely an absence that is felt, right? And then I would argue, again, it's a collective thing, right? The defense is wobbly because you got Otamendi, probably
shaky all season.
Their worst center back, right? When you consider
he's made mistakes.
Fernandinho was their center back, and he's not a center back. He's a defensive midfielder. Yeah. And then up top, Sterling has just not been sharp all season. This is where Sané was missed, I feel like. I mean, Sané's been missed all season, but
now with the break, now you have players like Sané coming back.
Yeah, and Sterling missed a sitter or two, and just not good from City right now. The good thing is they've got a cushion in 2nd place. They're not going to catch Liverpool, but it's tough seeing Leicester catching them in 3rd place or anybody else. So they have some wiggle room, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're pretty much only concerned for Champions. So.
Yeah, and understandably
the league,
so.
They're just like,
Also,
we're gonna try to win, but
what Andres just said is notable because, again, they're going all out in the Champions League because they're facing a potential ban from the Champions League of 2 years. Don't forget some financial shadiness, some breaches of FIFA financial fair play there from City that resulted in them getting banned from the Champions League for 2 years. So it's this year or nothing for City until the appeal process is done anyway. But yeah, Chelsea, again, looking strong to maintain that 4th place and that last Champions League spot. Pedro scored, right? This kid Billy Gilmore looks like he could be a revelation for them, right?
Yeah,
and just
for
going
the
from
FA Cup where he pretty much dominated their midfield by himself.
And he played in this match as well.
Oh, did he?
And played well. Yeah, he's got 2 straight starts there in the mid.
He's technical and he has a little bit of, I don't know, like a Scholes, Xavi type player, I guess.
Yeah, in the midfield.
Just because he's like really technical, like he can kind of move around.
Yeah, he had a great match in the.
And he won some balls, a little boosty, in him.
Yeah, he had a great match during the week and led people to immediately against Liverpool in the cup and immediately compared him to Xavi. Those memes are pretty funny. But hopefully a bright future there for the young man. And then elsewhere, Spurs and Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal was just kind of down. They'd been lingering in 10th to 9th place for most of the season. So it's always going to be, it was a long road back for them. But Spurs now has dropped to right under Arsenal.
Well, you guys called it. They were in free fall.
And they tied Burnley this last weekend. Actually, they're just above Arsenal. My fault. No disrespect. Arsenal's in 9th. Spurs drops down to 8th, which now leaves Wolves and Sheffield United, 2 teams that you wouldn't think were going to be there in those spots. They're there. They're right there. 3 points behind United. So look out for Wolves. Wolves currently in Europa. They just tied Olympiacos yesterday in the first leg of the current round there in Europa. But they look like they could maybe challenge United. But again, United's what now? 10 matches undefeated?
United?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they're having a late Ole Gunnar Solskjaer run when he was like their first, interim manager.
Yeah.
Where they just won at the end of the season like 8 straight.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be one of those teams that just get hot a little bit later than everyone else.
And then they won in Europa too.
Bruno was, probably the missing piece for them offensively.
Igalo looks like possibly a good signing. He's scored in whenever he's been in for the most part too.
So I mean, with this break, like for other teams as well, you get maybe a healthy Rashford coming back to the squad. Pogba will probably most definitely start. So, I mean, with those 2 players on that team, then they can be, they can push for a top 4.
Yeah, definitely. So as you can see, this is probably, just bad timing for what's going down right now for those European spots in the league. Good timing, right? Depending on whatever team you are.
Yeah, whatever team has most injuries.
But yeah, no, for the battle there for potentially fifth. Fifth might be that last Champions League spot in England. It's looking like now it's just a battle of United, Sheffield United, and Wolves. So watch out there. I mean, I don't see Spurs making a resurgence, right?
Yeah,
with those
I don't
players.
think so. But maybe like after the break, Harry Kane comes back.
He's already training. Good point.
Some players come back for them. So all these squads are gonna look different if you give them like a month's rest. So
Mourinho calling out in Ndombele.
I would imagine a lot of teams have a lot of stock in those players, and they would want to not nullify the season.
Yeah.
But
what do you make of Mourinho calling out in Ndombele in public?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was one of the record signings, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I mean, there are high expectations, but I mean, I guess do you agree with his tactic of just constantly calling out players in public like that to the media? Or lately, he's been doing that a lot.
Some players respond to it. I feel like some players respond to like the public.
He did that to Pogba.
Outcry. And they kind of like rise to the task and like, okay, you're gonna call me out.
That's one way to do it.
It's an old school tactic, I guess. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with it.
But I mean, yeah, he keeps crying about he can't wait for July because there's only so much you can do. But yeah, again, Spurs ties Burnley and then gets blasted in the Champions League, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, unfortunate timing for this suspension of competition because it's heating up for that last Champions League spot in Europe. Pretty much Liverpool has run away with it at the top, but
would just be a shame if, the season is nullified, playoff, or
the rest of the season canceled
and they don't resume,
No.
It's like how close can you be to not win the title? But automatically, I mean, technically, I've already won it.
Let's hold that thought there because that's our closing. That's good material there. But yeah, moving on, we're gonna jump to Spain, over to Iberia, where Corona is getting pretty bad too, coronavirus. But this last weekend, again, shout out to Johnny because he's been saying this race is gonna go down to the wire in La Liga between Barca and Madrid. No consistency and no confidence from Johnny for either of these teams. And I gotta say, he was validated this last weekend because Barca wins after their loss in the Clásico and Madrid lose after their win in the Clásico. So they swap again. So now Barca, after a 1-0 win against Sociedad, goes to the top. They're in first place.
Yeah, just both trading shots at this point,
And 2 points above Real Madrid, who lost to Real Betis. Barca, the beneficiary of what Andres called a controversial VAR call where they got a handball against Sociedad and Messi scored the penalty late in the match to secure the 3 points. And then Betis, too, got a last-minute goal to beat Madrid.
Yep.
So, again, I guess just validation from...
I think Herrera gave the assist to whoever scored for that team.
For
Betis.
Guardado?
Yeah, Guardado.
Yeah, you're right.
Guardado
yeah.
gave the assist.
Yeah, shout out Andres Guardado.
Yeah.
at Betis, taking Madrid down. But as things stand, Barca's back in first, 2 points ahead of Real Madrid.
Which is what you wouldn't expect because, Madrid was supposed to get a boost. I thought they were going to get a boost and, take care of
some momentum.
Yeah, I thought momentum would just shift, at least for a game, but apparently not even 24 hours later.
It didn't happen.
Or a week later.
It didn't happen. And again, shout out to Johnny because clearly it's going to go down to the wire. But he would have you believe it's because these teams are really poor and the competition is really poor. Now, have they been inconsistent and has it been stellar this year? No. But, the fact that Betis is pushing Madrid, Sociedad, I mean, these other teams, granted, these teams have some history, right? So they're not like tiny clubs, right?
Yeah,
but there's still teams that are pushing, Sociedad has had a great season. Betis is coming off a couple of good seasons. They're kind of in the bottom right now.
Getafe too was supposed to play into.
But again, the fact that Betis is giving games to Madrid, okay, I'll give it to people. Yeah, Madrid is kind of vulnerable right now. Not kind of, they're vulnerable. But at the same time, man, look at these teams going.
Sociedad played well against Madrid. I did not see them, having Barca beat them.
Yeah, ignore Valencia in the Champions League. Other than that, these Spanish teams are still looking pretty competitive.
Ignore Valencia right now because that wasn't a nice result for them.
That's how I feel about it. Johnny and I will go back and forth about it a lot. Andres usually agrees with me, but let us know what you think. La Liga still competitive, or is it just a mess? Is it just a dumpster fire?
Quality's still there.
Yeah, it's still top 3 in Europe, easy, but Johnny would say it might not be. But yeah, again,
you're gonna have players coming back from injury on both those teams too. Suarez for Barcelona.
If and when things resume, right?
Asensio, someone we hadn't seen all season. So automatically all these teams are gonna have a little bit more offense. Hazard maybe
potential
back.
Game changers.
Yeah,
game breakers.
Some players that Barca might have needed off the bench.
Man, and again, I hate to keep repeating these same phrases, but just terrible timing.
Good timing, right?
For this freaking virus, because in the Bundesliga, things are changing and heating up a little bit again. Red Bull dropped points again. I'm sorry, I keep calling them Red Bull, but they're not really technically Red Bull. RB Leipzig, they dropped points again. Dortmund won, and they moved up to second then. Leipzig now in third, 5 points behind Bayern Munich. Dortmund in second, 4 points behind. So Bayern won and maintained, I guess, that cushion. My question to you, Andres, is that it for Leipzig? Is that their? I mean, they won in the Champions League, which we'll talk about too. But
champions.
Is that it for their title challenge in the Bundesliga?
I mean, that Bundesliga is also really close.
5 points. They're 5 points off first.
Yeah, they're 5 points off first, and then Dortmund. Dortmund just really got that boost from Haaland and Sancho gaining some chemistry. Those two probably are gonna keep looking for each other, but I don't know if it's gonna be a close. I clearly think Bayern is gonna take it, just because they have more offense and they won over the weekend and without Lewandowski, so you got firepower from.
Yeah, Gnabry's in crazy form right now.
Yeah, you have Kimmich scoring goals, so they'll get goals from everyone.
Did you see Gnabry's assist? Gnabry had I think he had a goal and an assist this last weekend.
Him and Lewandowski have been basically feeding each other all season. I think Lewandowski has Gnabry has 16 assists to him.
And then even there too, we kind of forgot about them, and they kind of started dropping a little bit of points too. But in fourth place, Gladbach is right there. They're 1 point behind Leipzig. So Dortmund's on 51 points, Leipzig on 50, Gladbach on 49.
Yeah, this is still a race.
Yeah.
I mean, we were right in the middle of it. So.
And Leverkusen's made a nice little run lately too. They're still in Europa. They've got Kai Havertz and a nice little team.
They could definitely end up top 4.
Yeah, it's still heated there in the Bundesliga. So again, hopefully things can resume soon and we can see how this plays out. But yeah, it looks like Leipzig. Man, I like Timo Werner. I like their high scoring style and the way that they play. And the thing is, I've always kind of disliked RB and wanted to dislike them because of their whole, corporate background and how they took a team from, the amateur divisions or whatever to the top with just throwing money at it. But man, they were playing some good ball, and now it looks like they're fizzling out at the wrong time, right? Kind of like like Liverpool.
Yeah, I just think them and Dortmund are kind of on the same level, and Bayern is just like 3 or 4 players more deeper, to make that push till the end.
The other thing is, a part of me is sad for Leipzig too, because I feel like that team's about to get picked apart, right?
Probably, yeah.
There's some good players. They've been playing well.
Upamecano, you got Timo Werner.
Timo Werner's definitely gone.
Yeah,
maybe even
players.
the captain, right? Sabitzer. He just got 2 goals in the Champions League. Yeah, right. Upamecano, the defender you just mentioned. Minamino. Oh, no. Man, I'm getting my freaking...
Nkunku.
And Kunku, right? He was from PSG, no?
Yeah.
I think he was from PSG formerly, but...
Well, yeah, both those teams are prone probably to get good for next season. We'll see if they retain, because they can make a good push into next.
Yeah. And then in Serie A last week, we had just a handful of matches, because things in Italy have been bad for a while with the coronavirus, so they had already started playing matches behind closed doors and postponing matches. So just to get everybody caught up, before postponing the league. The matches that were postponed the week before were played, and still I think Inter has 2 or 3 or 4 teams that still have a game in hand. But the big one from last weekend, Juve beat Inter with nobody at the San Siro. It was kind of eerie to watch, but goals from Aaron Ramsey and a spectacular effort from Dybala. Just with control, dribbling, and a finish with the outside of his boot. Amazing. 2-0 finish over Inter. Mm-hmm. So with that, Juve goes back to first place over Lazio.
I think that's it for Inter's title push, bro.
You stole my thunder, because that was going to be my question for you. You've been an Inter supporter all season.
I had to say it. Yeah, no, it hurts.
And
they had to win that game.
That was my question for you. That's it then? That's the title challenge for them?
Yeah, for them, yeah. Just the way that Lazio is playing as well, and they pipped, Juve twice already this season. I think Inter had to this was a statement win for them, because now they're even further behind. They have a game at hand, but I don't think Juve is going to drop too many points for Inter to catch up,
Yeah, so then Lazio, you still see possibly competing, riding it out?
Yeah, I think Lazio, if they stay,
Juve's
if they stay
threat.
hot, because right now they're on a 20-game unbeaten streak, or 21 almost.
Juve's only threat.
So
then?
they could do a little Liverpool, Yeah. All momentum breaks for like 1 week. Obviously more, but they can come back and just be a mid-table team, and there goes any title challenge. So.
Yeah, going through the rough patch at the wrong time.
But I think Juve has enough to. Well, if I was to pick the league now, it'd probably be Juve.
Well, we were discussing right now too before we went on. It looks like they might potentially, Sarri might have a nice little mix there in midfield. Finally, in past episodes, we've discussed how Juve has got all the pieces. They just need to get him the right ones on the field at the same time. Specifically in the midfield, in the front three. Got a lot of options and a lot of good pieces, but you still need a midfield behind them, right? This one we were talking about, this match against Inter, they played Ramsey, Betancourt, and who am I missing? Matuidi in the midfield.
Which is a good balanced midfield.
And they overran Inter in the midfield entirely. Yeah, like you said, good balance. Ramsey making runs and dribbling from deep. It's creating goal-scoring opportunities for himself, right? Matuidi with his energy. And, Betancourt isn't like a world-class passer, right? But he can pass.
He works the sides as well, really.
Yeah,
well.
I would say he's like a number 8, right? He's up and down, the field. But
even then, you weren't really feeding Ronaldo or finding him too much.
Yeah, no. They weren't, but it looks like, I guess for most of the season we've seen Juve winning and surviving, but not looking their best. It looks like they were finally starting to get the sorry ball idea in this match, right?
Yeah, maybe it could help them.
And I mean, again, it's their title to lose.
Chiellini will probably be coming back into the lineup.
Yeah, Inter is now 9 points behind them.
Yeah,
Granted, Inter has a match to play, so let's say Inter wins that match.
Well, that's 8. No,
if they win the match, it'd be 6, but that's a lot, right?
Yeah. It'll be 5
for a team like Juve.
Oh, with Juve.
Yeah, and then Lazio is just 1 point behind right now. But again, quick shout out and just quick word to all the people in Italy, man, because that stuff is hitting hard over there.
Yeah, I mean, at least it stopped. But
Juventus is
they're like, you probably should have stopped it a little sooner.
I think kind of in isolation as well, because Daniele Rugani, their center back, actually tested positive for coronavirus too. Crazy. That's a major club, man. I mean, obviously I took it seriously, right? I wasn't freaking out or panicking, and I'm still not freaking out, right? I still think it's serious. But when I was like, oh damn, Rugani, I know who that is. That's a name I've heard, right? That's a player. I know who that is. I know where he plays for. And I was like, damn, he plays for Juventus. That's crazy. Since then, we've had other players come out, right, from big teams. Again, Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea. I think there was one other in the Premier League. Oh yeah, Mikel Arteta, right?
Yeah,
crazy. So yeah, just a quick prayer, right? Quick thought for everybody in Italy and everybody, all these players who've had to try to work and play through that. So it sucks. Just reminds you there's human beings playing this game, man. Big bummer too, because Champions League was back.
Yeah.
We got matches. We got 4 matches this last week. 3 we'll talk about because, well, the other one was pretty much already a blowout. Atalanta was going into Valencia up by 3 goals. They were up 4-1. And then Josip Ilicic dropped 4 goals on Valencia for an aggregate goal of 8-4, an aggregate score of 8-4. So Atalanta scored 4 goals at home and 4 goals away in this tie, just completely blowing out Valencia. And again, Atalanta going into this, I probably would have said was the weakest team, right? Other than maybe Lyon, right? And here they are, just blowing away an established Spanish side. So props to them. 4 goals from Ilicic, I think puts him in like prime company. I think only like Messi and Ronaldo, right, have scored like
Messi, Ronaldo. Messi did it twice actually.
4 goals in a match, right? In a Champions League match.
I'll name you a couple more actually. There's 11 actually.
Oh fuck!
You want to go all the way back? Marco Van Basten.
Van Basten, legend.
Yeah, Simone Inzaghi scored 4.
Oh, that's crazy. The current coach of Lazio.
Dado Pros. I can't really.
Not a name I recognize.
Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Rude.
We got Shevchenko.
Sheva.
Bafétimi Gomes.
Oh, Gomes scored 4 in the Champions League? That's crazy.
That was a weird year where he scored 4. I think Barca were doing pretty well. Mario Gomez, Zlatan, Ronaldo, Narbi recently, and Ilicic.
Oh, Gnabry scored 4. That's right.
And then Messi.
Oh, you're right. Against Spurs, no?
And then only Messi and Luis Adriano have scored 5.
Damn. But still,
so 5 is the record.
Prime company for Ilicic to be in. A 32-year-old player, mind you. But yeah, Atalanta potentially, like you said, Cinderella. Watch out for them. They're just dropping goals everywhere. They recently dropped 7 goals in Serie A the last time they played too.
It was kind of weird to watch them in an empty stadium, though. I don't know. It's like you score 4 goals, the crowd at least should be going wild. The fans or someone.
In an empty Mestalla,
right? It's like a very uncelebratory 4 goals. It's
eerie, right? It's almost scary. You can hear every scream. Yeah,
and the coaches like Guardiola have been like, we're not gonna play empty games. Like, there's no point. There's no fans.
Every thump, everything.
He said it's like an actor going into a theater and no one's watching. It's like they're performing for who?
Yeah,
just the people on TV, but it's like it's not the same.
Yeah, well, they played on Tuesday, and then the other match on Tuesday, RB Leipzig in Germany destroyed Spurs, sending Spurs home, knocking them
20-minute game right there, right?
Knocking last year's second place finishers out. Yeah, like Andres said, 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes, Leipzig were up 2 goals. The game finished 3-0 for an aggregate finish of 4-0. Mourinho's lost his mojo, it seems. Okay, we'll cut him some slack. He came into the squad halfway through the season, to a squad that was already struggling, and he's lost his 2 best attackers.
I think Song really hurt them at the end.
Yeah,
he was actually their last shining hope, and he had him call him Sonaldo. He was like
Sonaldo. That's right, but that was a stellar goal. Them. But yeah, now Spurs out of the Champions League.
Another team that could probably bring players like Harry Kane back, in a month. Training, totally different look, but it's a little bit too late now. So
definitely not their best display in the Champions League, and
so
now
it was kind of expected for them to struggle and not win.
Yeah, you were a firm believer last year that they got really lucky and benefited from VAR, right?
Super lucky. I don't know.
It's coming back for them, huh?
I did not think they were better than Ajax that year, but they scored 3 goals in the last 15 minutes, and crazy.
And then on Wednesday, Wednesday was something special, guys. Wednesday we had PSG versus Dortmund in Paris. Again, though, behind closed doors. It's cool to see. Before the match, PSG fans were still outside of the stadium supporting and chanting for the team.
Which meant nothing that it was empty stadium, right?
Right.
Everyone was just outside.
Yeah, and
same effect.
Maybe not my surprise because I picked them to win, but PSG have a knack of bottling it in these stages in the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Despite all the money they spent in the last decade, and how much effort they've put forth trying to win the Champions League, they just always blow it, right? Last year they were beating United before they lose to United eventually.
It was looking kind of bleak for them because Mbappe was sick right before the game.
Verratti was out, right?
No Silva. I was like, Silva. I think they're gonna really struggle, and Dortmund can take it.
And yet they won.
Credit to Neymar.
2-0, right?
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0. Goals from Neymar, and it was Sarabia, right?
I mean, yeah, it's an important win. Now they go quarters. Get a good team maybe. You're right. Suddenly on semis.
Oh no. Bernat, sorry, Juan Bernat.
Yeah, at the end of the first.
Wrong Spaniard.
So yeah, good win.
They got the win at home.
I'm kind of. I mean, I didn't really think Dortmund played to their potential for that game, but that's champions for you. Just came out flat. They didn't really pose as much problems as the first leg.
And Neymar. Scoring, right? Appearing when they needed him to, when you'd expect him to. What they paid all that money for, right?
Yeah, and every single year when he gets injured, this is what you want.
So then,
a game changer.
Yeah. Is this the PSG a team to look out for, you think?
I don't know.
I thought they were going to really struggle to get out of this round, but like you said, with some of the absences they had...
they'd have to get a favorable draw, I think. I don't know if they're ready to be they're still bigger team.
To me, they're still bottlers. To me, we'll see. They can change that. And then in probably the most thrilling match, in Liverpool at Anfield, Atletico Madrid knocks out the reigning champions. Just Liverpool completely taking it to Atletico. I don't know how else to describe it.
Bro, they had every 30 seconds an attacking play. Probably.
34 shots they took through the match. Atletico with a classic Simeone performance, 2 lines of 4, right? Survive and then counter. But
you know who took most of those hits? It was probably Oblak.
Oh man, yeah,
Oblak was probably having a legendary goalkeeping performance.
Underrated. Criminally always left out of the conversation, but Oblak is definitely top 3 goalkeepers in the world right now. He was a wall. But Liverpool went up 1-0. Gini Wijnaldum stepping up, as he usually does in some of these clutch matches for Liverpool. They were up 1-0. And for the rest of the 90 minutes, Liverpool again was just taking it to Atletico.
Well, they went up 2-0.
They went up 2-0, and immediately, pretty much at the start of extra time, Firmino with a header that went off the post, and then he got the rebound and scored it. And then you're thinking, this is it, right?
Yeah, next time they're up 2-0.
You and Johnny were watching it, and Johnny said,
like, oh, man, I mean, yeah, this is it. They just had to hold on. And then what happens, Frankie?
Well, here's the thing. I was going to ask you, was it a fluke or... Now, Diego Costa played in this game and then was subbed out for I'm sorry. Is it Marcos? Yeah, Marcos Llorente.
Yeah, Marcos Llorente.
And then Llorente would come on, and after this Firmino goal, he scored. He scored, y'all. Adrian, the reserve keeper, filling in for Alisson Becker, kicked the ball straight to a defender.
Yeah.
Who then passes it to Llorente, who tucks it away in the bottom corner.
That's the problem when you're attacking all game.
Crucial away goal there.
How high is your back line, you know?
Yeah.
How much space do you suddenly have to just break on a counter at the end of the game, almost, you know, extra times when players have been tired from attacking all game?
That's a fair point, but like I said, Adrian with that pass, what the hell?
I mean, yeah,
pass?
and you honestly just wait for your best chance. And that's, you know, that's
take advantage of mistakes.
Yeah, you take advantage of one mistake, you score, and a little bit of luck, but, you know.
So Atletico got the crucial away goal, and then soon after, Llorente got a second goal. Of all people, Llorente got a second goal, effectively ending Liverpool's Champions League season. And then in garbage time, Alvaro Morata got one more. So it went from 1-0 at full time to a 3-2 match.
At the end.
At the end of extra time. Thrilling stuff. Shocking. The champion is out. Like Johnny says, people will cry. People will be disappointed. And I think what got to me the most wasn't just that Liverpool lost. It was that it was at Anfield, man. I think at home like that, that's crazy.
I think the way that they went about that first leg probably wasn't the best idea. Because if you play away the first game, you have to get an away goal first leg. You know?
Yeah.
The fact that they kind of reserved everyone, took out Mane, and kind of didn't go for that 1-0 or at least one away goal kind of hurt them in the home leg. Because, you know, one away goal takes away everything.
Well, they didn't even get a shot on target, a shot on goal in Madrid.
I mean, Simeone is there to win, bro. Honestly, you know.
They defended to survive, man, both matches, and they did it well.
He knew what would neutralize them, and then he's like, how do we score? He's like, we're going to have to hold on for extra times and score at the end, you know, just put in firepower.
The low block.
Something, players that will run,
Two lines of four, that's how you stop
Liverpool.
Fresh
players that will just run at them at their high back line. And
2 lines of 4 and be sharp on the counter.
Yeah, but they weren't. You could tell though. That's what they were waiting for. Like just at the right moment when they knew they were getting tired. Because if you saw the game, Atletico weren't even going for counters. They would just blast it, halfway, get the ball out,
long ball it out of there. Yeah.
So once Liverpool kind of scored that first goal and added the intensity to crosses, they're like, we gotta put in another, defensive mid.
Do you blame Adrian? Because I would argue the 2 goals. The first 2, I mean, the last one was in garbage time. It's whatever. But the first 2, those 2 that Atletico scored, would you agree that he's at fault?
For that first one?
Yeah, or I would say both.
No, I would just say the first one.
The first one, all right. And then, but I mean, a lot of people are saying that it shouldn't even matter, right? That happened because they should have put away a bunch
They
of
should have been
chances.
more clinical, yeah. Salah kind of rushed out a lot of his shots. Mane had almost a spectacular bicycle kick, but I mean, you know, it was the most entertaining game I've seen in a while.
Man, and within a couple weeks, Liverpool goes from making a treble run to out of the FA Cup, and now out of the Champions League.
A lot of people were calling them overrated.
Definitely not overrated, not at all, guys.
They're still a great team,
but they hit their rough patch
at the wrong time.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen this happen in other teams is like a Barcelona late Pep Guardiola squad.
But even that took longer. That team took years before it finally started to.
Yeah, so they peaked at the wrong time and lost form at the wrong time, I guess. Even though they should have won, but they just weren't clinical, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think was one of their bigger faults this season. There's so many 1-0 games where you're winning late. When you have players like on City where you're scoring 3 or 4 goals a game, it's a lot easier.
Now, since you brought it up in the week 2, Klopp afterwards was saying that he doesn't understand how Atletico, a good team with world-class players,
they play like that,
plays the way that they do, and he was referring to what some people call negative football, right? Which is called just parking the bus and then waiting for a mistake or a counter, right?
I call it winning, bro. That's all I call it.
I mean, I'll give it. He's a passionate guy, and it was fresh off a loss, right? I won't call him a sore loser, but yeah. I agree. Look,
it was the only team capable of stopping Liverpool like that.
Look, recently they got
defensively.
You have Joao Felix, right? Like, why would you got Carrasco, right? Why would you play like that with those types of players, right? I can see that, and I'm a little bit biased because again, I prefer my football on the front foot. I like teams that have a style and implement it and try to bring it to you, right? Not the pragmatic, reactionary, defensive, cautious, conservative approach. But it is approach.
It's not cautious.
It's valid. It's valid though. I mean, it works, right? It works, especially in knockout tournaments. So I can't knock it like he's saying, right? And it's like we knew. The other thing too is my thing with Klopp on this one. You knew that this is how Atletico played. You saw it in the first match too, right? So I mean, to complain about it, I mean, you know what you're gonna get from Atleti,
yeah,
right? For years now, you know what a Simeone team is gonna give you.
But yeah, Liverpool did give it all. It's all though. It's not like they didn't.
Yeah,
they had 34 shots on goal. Like they should have scored
valiantly though. That was a great match. All the
excitement. I mean, Simeone saw it too. He's like, it's unjust. I mean, it's just like to win the game, you gotta score goals. So it's not a just win, but hey, it's a win.
It's a win's a win, and now Atletico stays in the Champions League as their league season kind of flounders a little bit.
Some people think Atletico won't go past this season. I think Johnny commented.
Yeah, Johnny says Johnny actually, for everybody, Johnny guarantees that they lose in the next round.
I don't know. I mean, Atletico could go on a very late run where they just off defense win games, just in Champions.
So yeah, if Liverpool wins
with a favorable draw, maybe they can win.
Yeah,
you'd have to see who they get.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they could stop Barcelona if they got Barcelona next round.
But we don't even know. We'll have to wait to see for a while because there's still four ties to be decided, and they're being postponed, right?
Yeah, no champs either.
Yeah, no, Liverpool now has just one trophy that they can win, which is the Premier League, and that's still major. They haven't won the league in 30 years, so we'll see how the league... the trophy hunt concludes.
Very anticlimactic, though.
Yeah, you could argue. But, I mean, what they still achieved was amazing. They went, 17 games without a loss, right?
They did the same thing City did.
Or they won 17 matches in a row in the league, then drew United, and then went on to win another 18 after that. That's 40-plus games undefeated. Like, that's still crazy. In the league.
It just goes to show how long you go undefeated as well. Could kind of take a toll on you at the wrong time.
And they played good. They were, damn near mechanical in the process. But, again, the season is long.
Oh, yeah. Man, 45 wins in a row or,
You have your rough patches. Look at a team like United, which we've branded dead a couple times. And
they're goddamn amazing, though, for the whole season.
Now United's 10 matches undefeated. So, yeah, who knows, right? Yeah, but like you said, at the wrong time, maybe a little bit anticlimactic, but hey, a league win's a league win.
Hey, it keeps us watching soccer, right? Because not the best always wins.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's the champions, right? You never know. La emoción del fútbol, right? It's
like, they're the best, but then here they go.
Well, one league that's not taking a break, not suspending whatsoever, they sent out actually a public statement to fans that just said be careful essentially, but have fun. Liga MX is still rolling this weekend. Really cool shit going on in Liga MX. Lots of high scoring matches, lots of back and forth, lots of red cards, and right now something that hasn't happened in a while, I can't remember the last time I saw this. the Four Grandes in Mexico, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with or forgot or don't know the history, the Four Grandes, the Cuatro Grandes in Mexico are the four biggest teams historically and who, I guess, have the most supporters and all of that. Cruz Azul, America, Pumas, and Chivas, all four of those teams are in the top 5 right now. Can't remember the last time I saw that happening. So that's exciting for fans of those historic clubs. Right now, as things stand, Cruz Azul, La Máquina's in first right now. Sole possession of first. They spanked Tijuana 4-2 last week. Again, high scoring, lots of action. And that 4-2 looked like it could be, before it was a 4-2, it looked like it could be a 3-3 for a while. Again, crazy stuff happening there. Leon's in second. America's in third. Pumas in fourth. Chivas, Las Chivalácticas, after we laughed at them for being ineffective, have now rattled off 3 wins in a row. So Chivas went from middle to bottom of the table to in the 5th and in conversation for Liga.
So that's continuing still.
Yeah, and that's still going on. There are matches being played right now. I think Morelia was playing Querétaro. And while the 4 historic big teams are winning and looking good, going from strength to strength and recovering depending on each situation, the recent big guns not firing, specifically the teams from the north of Mexico, Los Regios in Monterrey. Monterrey, the current champions, still winless. They tied last week in just embarrassing fashion. Well, they went down. They got an early red card, Monterrey, and then scored 2 goals. They were up 2-0, but they were a man down. The game finished 2-2. Atlético San Luis was able to draw, and Monterrey still without a win this season. Tigres also tied last week. Tigres tied 0-0 to Puebla last Friday when we were filming last Friday. So again, the teams from Monterrey, the 2 really big teams and successful teams recently in Mexico, just not firing this season. Tigres got a win in Conca Champions, which also has been suspended. But yeah, just man, not I really don't know what to make of Monterrey. They just have a solid squad on paper and just haven't been able to look like they're gonna mount a defense.
They haven't won.
They haven't. No wins. And they're just throwing matches away like they did last week.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Atlas is at the bottom of the table right now, too. I just bring up Atlas because last week they played in the Clásico Tapatío against Chivas, and Chivas won. But the game ended in ugly circumstances. There was some fights in the stands in the stadium. Actually, lots of fighting. Hate to see it, right? Just want people to go and have fun and enjoy themselves.
Because it's the Clásico, bro.
Right, and then you always hear about these kinds of things in Mexico and South America. So last season there was a really big fight in San Luis between Querétaro fans and San Luis fans. Or I can't remember where it was specifically, but it was fans of those 2 teams, and it was really, really bad. This one didn't get as bad, but still, not something you want to see. Tijuana down at the bottom 2 right now of the table, and again a team that has a lot of good pieces, but just for whatever reason started like they were looking hot and just not been able to put it together. They're tied 1-1 right now. And then you got teams like Pachuca and Santos doing well right now. Toluca, Puebla down near the bottom as well. Sure. But again, the 4 big ones are up at the top where they've been historically, and we'll see how that pans out for the rest of the season. We'll see if Chivas can continue this run, maybe make it 4 in a row to put some pressure on Pumas. Pumas started really strong and have dropped some points recently and are now sitting in 4th, but still really good season so far from them.
I'm gonna have to watch these games religiously now. It's probably the only thing to be on TV, you know.
Yeah, well, we'll see. maybe they end up doing. I can't see how.
They keep going?
Yeah, they keep going. If other leagues are being postponed and everything. I think like Libertadores and stuff even in South America has been postponed. So I don't see how they can keep getting away with it for much longer.
I think they just had a game where there was like 8 red cards and
Oh, that was in Libertadores, yeah, the Porto Alegre derby. It was Gremio versus Internacional.
Yeah, they had 8 red cards.
8 red cards.
It's just crazy match.
But it was a derby too, to be fair. And these derbies, these are the best rivalries.
Yeah, it's derbies, bro. You know, emoción.
Yeah.
Passion.
Again, look out if you're looking for high scoring, back and forth matches. Look at Liga MX. It's been thrilling so far. We'll keep you posted on that as it progresses. Because who knows? Right? Maybe next week is just Liga MX, right? Where we just talk about the matches from this week's Liga MX. But elsewhere in North America, last week was the second weekend of MLS. My Chicago Fire drew away at the New England Revolution 1-1. Again, not the first choice team. A lot of the new signings still aren't integrated into the squad. But one of the new signings, Gaston Jimenez, designated player from Argentina, came on and delivered just a beautiful ball across the field to Mihailovic, who then produced a cross for Johnny's favorite player on the Fire, Johnny Bornstein, the veteran left back, to head for the equalizer. So while not dominating, right, still a promising performance from the Fire, despite not having their full strength squad or their best and newest players on the field. So that's what bums me out too about the suspension, because the home opener was next week. So now I had my tickets. I was ready and primed for that. Won't be able to go now. Sucks, but again, the greater good is more important, I guess.
You guess?
I guess. But yeah, elsewhere in MLS, the Fire on 2 points right now early in the season. Vela, maintaining his MVP form, scored a stellar free kick last week in a shootout with the Philadelphia Union. That match ended 3-3. Watch the highlights for that one if you hadn't. There was a almost 40-yard screamer from a center back from Philadelphia. His name escapes me right now. I should have written it down. I'm sorry. But he scored a free kick, Andres. I'm not even kidding you. From 35 yards. Yeah? Sick as hell. Back and forth match that was. That finished 3-3. And then
what game was this?
It was LAFC versus Philadelphia. And then the other thing I wanted to mention with MLS right now is the Galaxy lost at home for their home opener. Chicharito, again, pretty ineffective. The whole team really ineffective so far. And after the match, he ducked the media. He got out of he knew he was going to get some tough questions, or he just wasn't happy and ducked the media. He's catching a lot of heat right now for that. And to be fair, if you're gonna be like a big name in the league, if you're gonna be the
biggest name,
one of the Galaxy's designated players, that comes with a lot of responsibility, right? Like speaking to the media, and like we kind of joked around, he's got good English, right? So he needs to be speaking, right? And it's too early, right, for him to be getting upset at the media, and it's too early for anybody to really be judging Chicharito or the Galaxy, right? So,
well, how far are you willing to give them?
I mean,
season or
no? I mean,
couple games.
Usually in MLS, by the start of the summer, you start to see. But even then, man, teams like Seattle's got this knack of starting really, really slow, and then at the end of the summer, getting and going on a run from the end of the summer to the start of the playoffs, and they've won. Well, last year was a little bit different, but they definitely won a championship like that. But they're notorious for starting really slow, then picking it up in mid to late season, and then using that momentum to win a championship or when it counts. So, and then the other thing with MLS is 7 teams qualify for the playoffs, right?
So yeah, it's playoffs.
So sometimes one of the things that Zlatan says a lot of things, right? But one of the things he said was, sometimes the urgency for these MLS players isn't there, right? Because they're like, you know what? If we tie, we can finish in 7th, right? And we're still going to make the playoffs, right? So.
Oh, yeah. They're not really shooting for that top 4, top 3.
Exactly. Because either way, they're going to make the playoffs, right?
Well, it's because also they don't have, other than the competition, to go to, like, champions, prestige.
Yeah.
Maybe if they had an entry to like one place at Champions League, you think that would definitely increase?
Well, that's an interesting point. Well, they have the Conca Champions, but a lot of people argue that promotion relegation is needed for that to not happen.
For what?
Here in the MLS to put to institute promotion and relegation. So that
but I mean, I would also, they would need a larger league for having, a B MLS side or something like that.
All the big leagues are 20. MLS is at 26 teams now.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I guess not until you have like a full.
And I think they're
roster of like the whole 50 states is probably when they'll probably implement that.
They're going to be by 30 soon. They've got FC Austin starting next year. Yeah. And then St. Louis, and I think it's Sacramento. So they'll be to 29 pretty soon. And I think one more. Charlotte?
I think they're going to have to finish expanding before they even
there it is. Look at watch this fucking screamer.
Oh yeah, the LAFC. Yeah, he scored it.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, just as it was getting started, MLS is on pause now. Everything's on pause.
Keep safe.
Which leads to the question, right? What happens now in all of these leagues? We've been talking about it a little bit today. We've thrown it around one or two ideas and suggestions earlier in the show, but there's been talk of playoffs, right?
Right. Top four going a little,
which is unheard of in Europe, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of teams rejected that though already in Serie A.
Yeah. Well, playoffs, right? Then we have just ending things as they are, right? And crowning champions as it stands.
I think they would do that, and then next season, like no one would be relegated, but next season 5 teams or 2 extra teams will be relegated.
Yeah, I didn't even think about how that would affect the relegation. I'm worried about I'm worried about the top.
Well,
of the table.
That's what would happen. No one would get relegated, but the next season 5 teams would get relegated at the same time. So.
Or there's the possibility of also playing the matches through into the summer, right?
Right, pushing everything back,
but then we have Euro 2020 that's supposed to be played, right? And the interesting thing about Euro this year too is that it's played across 12 sites in Europe and not just one country, right? So you got to think that's problematic with the pandemic going on, right? All the travel in between. And
yeah, I think everything will probably be pushed back until they can start, and then they're just gonna have to make a shortened season next season just to like give me like, yo, we started in December, so now it's only gonna be a 20-game league. Everyone starts at 0, and we'll just finish just to get back on track,
Right.
That's if they still want to have a league. If not, they could just cancel the whole season.
So what? Just end the season on what is it? Whatever.
Yeah, like I said, end the season. I mean, they would have to talk to City, maybe some negotiating to give Liverpool a title, or I don't know how they would do that, but just relegate next season with more teams. Do
you cancel the rest of the season? Like, do you even crown a champion? Like, I don't even know what. There is no protocol like for something like this, right? It's kind of unprecedented.
No one really knows, but I feel like every league has to be on, in accordance on the same thing.
Well, like college basketball, they canceled the tournament. They can't they didn't postpone it. They just flat out canceling.
Yeah,
it, right?
You're just gonna have to, like I said, if they prioritize Euro, then they'll probably play Euro and skip the league next season. Next season probably won't be a league.
Can you imagine how Liverpool fans feel right now? 30 years for waiting for the championship to right now being like, what's gonna happen, right? Like how long? Like, do they put it on pause? Like, just give us the trophy, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but then you have teams like Barca and Madrid where if you nullify and you give it to Barca, it's like that's not really fair.
Look at Italy, where Juve's only up by 1 point right now. How do you end the season there?
All those leagues are so different, but I don't know. They'll probably have to come on an agreement to like do something that ends and starts at the same date, so everyone's back on track.
I mean, cancel or move Euro or something. I don't know.
Health comes first, bro. So I mean, I'm sure they'll figure it out once everyone's healthy.
I'm sure most seasons are ending in early to mid-June. Push it back, man.
I think 2 weeks is too early to resume everything. So,
but then players got to get ready for Euro, and this is also postponed World Cup qualifiers. There's a lot of stuff sifting.
Could take 2 months. That's what they're saying.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
We'll see. I mean, the scheduling impact and what this means for everything, but
I'd say they probably want to keep as many games as they can, even if it's a shortened season, because each game is money.
My head hurts. My head started hurting just kind of thinking about it. But again, like you said, there's more important things to worry about, like everybody's health. So we'll focus on that.
But we'll be back when everything gets resolved.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
As soon as someone plays, we'll be back on the air, most likely.
Well, definitely. Well, Liga MX is gonna keep going through. Again, we're gonna talk a little bit and maybe see if we take a break until more matches pick up, or if we do like some watch-alongs or our favorite players, or maybe invite a guest, right? Maybe dialogue and debate with somebody.
Yeah, we can talk about some old time favorites.
We'll see.
Legends.
But I know when Rafa had the live stream pulled up right now, we had at least four live stream viewers. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
And watching us live. Again, let us know what you think. Share your comments.
Missing our commentary from Johnny today.
Yeah.
So
what do you guys think we should do for next week? Share this with your friends and anybody who likes football.
Yeah, come debate us.
But that's pretty much all we got for you guys today. Again, I know kind of an awkward episode with Johnny not here, and then the whole somberness and uncertainty of the stupid pandemic, but hopefully things are resolved soon. Hopefully, many people are healthy and safe, and hopefully we can get to watching the resolution of a lot of these leagues, because again, a lot to play for. Liverpool's first league title in many seasons. The Bundesliga looking tight. Serie A looking even tighter. Things tight in Spain too. It's just
it's a blessing for some teams though. If you look at it,
some time to recover, right? Maybe get some players back, but again, for the most part, more important things to worry about right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You'll never walk alone from the Squid. Thanks for tuning in once again, Squidward.
Yeah.
The man, L2 can. But yeah, y'all, stay healthy, stay safe. Watch your peoples, take care of your peoples. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please, once again, share, give us a like. Check out the Full Heel Network in its entirety. The boys in the Full Heel Network did a companion for the UFC card, UFC 248 last week, and watched the greatest women's fight of all time. You can check that out. There's a card tomorrow that they'll probably be watching live too. I might join in for that one as well. So check out the Full Heel Network. And yeah, take care of yourselves, y'all.
Take care, guys.
And we'll see you soon.